The journey of 1,000 miles, it is said, begins with the first step. For the people of Ogun State, the journey of rebuilding their beloved state started on May 29, 2011, when Senator Ibikunle Amosun took over the mantle of leadership of the state, with the focal restoration thrust being the mission to rebuild Ogun State and restore it to its premier place in Nigeria. Prior to the event of this administration, infrastructural decay was the order of the day, with the prevalence of dilapidated school buildings, health facilities, failed and sometimes completely collapsed roads across the state. In addressing these infrastructural and economic deficits, Senator Ibikunle Amosun's administration outlined 5 cardinal programs: affordable qualitative education, efficient healthcare delivery, agricultural production and industrialization, affordable housing and urban renewal, and rural and infrastructural development and employment generation. With these in mind, the administration set out to achieve various feats in all the areas. Even within the first 100 days in office, it kick-started with the renovation of 100 blocks of classrooms in existing public primary and secondary schools, refurbishment of primary healthcare centers, and the overhauling of dilapidated roads, amongst many more. The first step taken in this direction was to kickstart the provision of free education in all state government-owned primary and secondary schools. This is to ensure that every child is given the opportunity to be educated. It also provided 6.3 million copies of notebooks and other instructional materials for pupils and students in all public schools in the state. In addition, the sum of 2 billion naira was spent for the production and distribution of about 121,000 copies of textbooks on all subjects in the curriculum of government-owned schools. There was also the payment of the 2011 and 2012 WAEC examination fees, the introduction of unified examination in the schools, periodic training and retraining of teachers and principals across the state. To further buttress the need for a more qualitative and affordable education in Ogun State, the government embarked upon the construction of 28 model schools in the 3 senatorial districts of the state. To complement the efforts of the state government, the First Lady, Mrs. Olufunsho Amosun, sponsored 22 best students in the 20 local government areas of the state. They were given the opportunity to travel to the United Kingdom for a 2-week leadership training program as a reward for good performance and motivation for other students. A healthy people is a healthy nation. When a large percentage of the populace is in good health, it produces a healthy workforce for the economy. Thus, as soon as it assumed office, the government of Senator Ibikunle Amosun commenced the renovation of dilapidated health centers across the 3 senatorial districts, as well as provision of necessary work equipment to all the centers. Furthermore, 700 health workers were recruited to help address the problems of insufficient qualified medical personnel in state-owned hospitals. With all these already in place, the state government is on the verge of flagging off its free healthcare services for pregnant women, children under the age of 5, and senior citizens above the age of 70. It is also upgrading the central drugstore to international standard for drugs procurement. In order to strengthen the accident and emergency services, the state government resuscitated ambulance services by refurbishing old ones and purchasing new state-of-the-art ambulances. Medical crews that will man them were given well-grounded, intensive training. The Bomoro program, which is part of the MDG's initiative, was taken by the state government, under which a stipend is being made available for transport and feeding. Free handsets were given to pregnant women in some selected local government areas of the state, to address MDG's goals 4 and 5, that is, reduction of maternal and child mortality in the state. There is also the commitment to both the fight against HIV and AIDS as well as eradicating the menace of the polio virus in the state. The government is also partnering with different bodies, both national and international, to take care of other health needs of its people, such as provision of artificial limbs for those in need, free eye surgeries, and provision of reading glasses. Also, the Office of the First Lady, Mrs. Olufunso Amosun, is also contributing its own quota in ensuring good health for the people. This she has been doing in partnership with some NGOs in the areas of cancer screening for women, school deworming exercise, as well as eye surgeries, amongst others. The government of Senator Ibikunle Amosun has continued to work towards ensuring food security for its people and making life easier for farmers. Various seedlings are being provided at subsidized rates for farmers to plant and make good profit. The distribution of 1 billion naira commercial agricultural credit scheme made available through a collaboration by the state and federal government for farmers to improve agricultural production in the state is one example of the important things carried out by this administration. To further assist farmers to move from manual to mechanized farming for improved productivity, various large equipment were purchased by the state government. This equipment is being leased out to the farmers or sold to cooperatives for them to be able to access same. The state government has also embarked on the construction of a modern farm settlement at Awowo in Ewekoro local government area and will soon be replicated in other local government areas of the state. The idea of improving agriculture is to strengthen the value chain leading to industrialization. In March 2012, the state hosted an investors forum that attracted stakeholders from within and outside Nigeria. During the event, the executive governor, Senator Ibikunle Amosun, declared his mission for the state in terms of industrialization, saying that the state is indeed open for business.
As an administration, we are determined to provide the enabling environment for investors at all levels to thrive. With our natural and locational advantages, we have recognized the need to upgrade our infrastructure, but we also want to encourage the small and medium-scale enterprises that drive growth in the economy and create the much-needed wealth.
As a result of this forum, 54 companies have indicated interest in setting up business in the state. As such, the state government is preparing for this with the construction and completion of a 700-meter road at the industrial park at Oni Jagon Jagon. To also boost small and medium-scale enterprises, the state government signed a memorandum of understanding with the Bank of Industry to jointly provide the sum of 1 billion naira as loans to finance small businesses in the state. The distribution of checks for the loans to cooperative societies has since commenced. Shelter is a very basic right of every living human being. It is because of this that the administration of Senator Ibikunle Amosun set out to provide affordable housing for its people. The first step taken in this direction was to complete all housing projects inherited from the previous administration and hand them over to their owners. Some new ones are also being constructed at Kemta Housing Estate, Shagamu, and OGTV Media Village. There was also the surveying and planning of the new city center to be located at the former state secretariat at Ibara, while plans are in top gear to further provide low-cost housing for the people. Roads are of vital importance in order to make a nation grow and develop. It is in the realization of this and to correct what it met on the ground that the government of Senator Ibikunle Amosun took up the task of rehabilitation and construction of roads in all the nooks and crannies of the state. The Ita-Eko-Okeshokori Totoro Road, the first ever 6-lane road with all the necessary facilities to complement it, the first flyover bridge in Abeokuta, and also the first pedestrian bridge in the state are some of the achievements made in just 2 years in office. The construction and completion of the following called for the demolition of residential houses, business outlets, and banks. But everyone affected was duly compensated, and for the aged, new structures were built back for them. Senator Ibikunle Amosun has categorically stated that a benchmark for achievement needed to be set. That has now been achieved and tagged the Ogun Standard. The same achievement is now being replicated in different parts of the state. To this end, 14 roads were selected and awarded, and as at now, work has commenced earnestly on them. The governor has made it a duty to always check the level of work and the quality of materials being used in construction, as well as make additional input at work sites when necessary. This is also to ensure that the various contractors are working round the clock to ensure speedy completion and timely delivery of the projects. Following the directive given by the governor to all project contractors to ensure and comply with the 90% sourcing of building materials and manpower from the locals, more than 2,000 indigents are now engaged in the projects. Senator Ibikunle Amosun, during his campaign days, promised to create 10,000 jobs for graduates. This he has fulfilled by creating employment for over 5,000 applicants into the state civil service, as well as providing employment opportunities for several others. There is also the employment of 1,000 teachers under the Rapid Employment Generation Program. Furthermore, the Office of the First Lady, Mrs. Olufunsho Amosun, organized a training exercise for 1,200 unemployed graduates drawn from the 20 local government areas of the state on different areas of handiwork. After the 2-week training, the young graduates were empowered with the tools of their trade, as well as the sum of 25,000 naira each to set up their own business. The administration has also made payment of gratuities and pensions a priority, including offsetting pension debts it inherited from the previous administration. Just recently, in December 2012, it set aside 1 billion naira to be used to pay outstanding payments to pensioners. For a more improved and vibrant public service, the state government has created avenues for civil servants to be trained and retrained periodically, while also ensuring regular promotion of qualified civil servants as at when due. The government, through the Ogun State Ministry of Women Affairs, has been recording great successes by empowering women and, by extension, the society through various programs ranging from education to skills acquisition and economic empowerment. With the support of the First Lady, Mrs. Olufunsho Amosun, women and various vulnerable groups have also found a new lease of life. Even the physically challenged and homeless have not been left out. Some are now owners of their own business and are thriving without any difficulties. One of the first things the administration did in ensuring a healthy environment on assumption of office was the total clearing and cleaning of dump sites and replacing them with incinerators across the state. The State Ministry of Environment also embarked on the beautification exercise of streets, majorly in the state capital, Abeokuta. The clearing of drainage, the construction of new culverts for easy flow of water to guard against flooding, as well as introduction of the monthly sanitation exercise. The state also acquired different equipment and cleaning trucks for its waste management, while taking upon itself to pick refuse brought out by residents on a daily basis. This is aimed at ensuring that the environment is kept clean and tidy, and also to give the people a good culture of proper refuse disposal. There is also the setting up of mobile courts to ensure strict compliance with the monthly sanitation law. There are plans to reintroduce state environmental inspection officers to ensure more compliance and discipline amongst the citizens. Part of the achievement of the Ogun State government in providing basic amenities is the availability of regular potable water in some areas that formerly experienced water scarcity. Aside boreholes and tap projects that have been provided at different locations in Ogun State, rectification of the problems at some water plants is ongoing. The Yemoji Water Scheme is an example. There are other water and agriculture-related projects that were commenced before the present administration that were funded by the federal government. Most of these projects have long been abandoned. However, the government of Senator Ibikunle Amosun has been making efforts to get the federal government's attention back to complete them. To ensure adequate power supply, the state government acquired 500 transformers, which it distributed to different local governments and communities within the state. The administration of Senator Ibikunle Amosun took a bold step to curb the menace of insecurity in Ogun State by facilitating the deployment of more security forces from other states to complement existing ones. 13 armored personnel carriers equipped with state-of-the-art communication gadgets alongside other Toyota Security Hilux Jeeps were also purchased. All these have since been distributed to be used for patrols all over the state. This has further helped to improve the security situation. Realizing the need of public-private partnership in curbing crime, the government of Senator Ibikunle Amosun also inaugurated the Security Trust Fund. There was also a fundraising ceremony to get financial support for security in the state. In addition, a complementary outfit called the Quick Response Squad was set up to back up the Joint Military Police Task Force inaugurated to combat crime in Ogun State. Residents of the Gateway State are now confident that they are safe and their security is being well taken care of. As a man of his word, Senator Ibikunle Amosun has continued to make sure that all the promises made during his campaign are fulfilled. It is also in fulfillment of these promises that the state government embarked on the construction of a befitting building for the Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) in Abeokuta. A mechanics village at Obadaoko was built to cater to their needs. Indeed, the story of the new Ogun State is arguably one that has a standard comparable to no other in Nigeria. It is a state that has found its rhythm and is using it to bolster its focus for the benefit of its citizens and to Nigeria.